Still waiting for poo. Cannot get poo. I get a lot of pee, but not poo. As you can see, I've got an audience. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's Blackacre Ranch again. So, my name is Jeff. This intro stuff, man, it's gonna be hard to break. Buffalo are hungry. So, status this week, I showed you the weekly stat sheet that I kind of used last week. Anyway, the status this week is we fed them 2 bales of hay. They started consuming a lot more hay. They finally started getting through that too. I gave them that empty bale, or that empty bale, the trashed bale that I had to salvage and put that over there. Dropped that off. 5-6 days later, it was gone. We gave them 2 more bales. Anyway, Thursday, I believe it was, dropped them off 2 more bales. Now it's Saturday, and those 2 bales are gone. So that's telling me the grass in this pasture is toast, right? It's probably not growing very much. They've consumed a lot of what they're gonna consume. And well, that's just frankly it, right? So do I move them, do I not move them? I'm not going to move them, partly because I checked the water and my water level was 6,000 gallons total last week. We got 1.5 inches of rain. I've netted out another 1,000, so I'm at 7,000 gallons from what they drank. We're gonna have more rain this week, so the water level is looking good. I'm trying to give pasture 6 more time to grow and be legit. This is what pasture 6 looks like. So pasture 6 is looking pretty good. I just really want to give it 4 weeks, if I can do 4 weeks. So I'm gonna supplement feed with the hay. I know it's gonna be 3 bales and whatever, but you know, I've gotta let the grass grow to some extent. And now that I'm gonna be moving them back and supplementing with feed, well, whatever. So this is pasture 6 and it's looking good. It's not quite as what I want it to be, and so I think I'm gonna hold off. My worst pasture in all of this is pasture 7. So I'm trying to build up manure. I'm trying to put out the hay in places that don't have a lot of soil. You know, it's just pretty much iron, lignite, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna actually keep them in pasture 7 for that purpose. I know it's time to move them, but if I'm gonna supplement their hay, I'm gonna do that in pasture 7 where the used hay can help the soil and their manure can really give it some benefit here. But as you can tell, the buffalo are getting a little antsy. Man, they are up here and they are waiting for some hay. So I'm just gonna quickly feed them their hay. I'm gonna feed them 3. I might move this hay spots around to distribute the hay, you know, as it kind of the old stuff they don't eat. But yeah, I'm gonna get that done real quick and then get to the rest of the day. Okay, everybody, hay is done. So I didn't show it to you. It was actually kind of crazy. So the buffalo were up here waiting for me to come in. And as I would move towards the gate, they were following me. And this past week, Steve had that issue where they were just standing at the gates waiting. And you have that problem where you can't exactly open the gate and get back to your tractor alone before the buffalo come in. So I told Steve about that, whatever, and he like a good guy, he came on over and he helped me with the gate. But I got some hay, and I got the one with the partial wrapping. I got that one out there. And I learned a new way to go ahead and do hay in these bales. So here, let me show you the issue I've been having with dropping hay as I'm trying to feed these bales of hay inside the rings. The tractor picks up the bale of hay like this, okay? So it's horizontal, so it's just circular like this, okay? And when I've been going over there, I'll come up to the ring, which is like that, and I have to get all of this twine off. It'll hurt the buffalo. You don't want them eating it, so you gotta make sure you get all the twine off. Well, I come by with a knife and I score it, and I just cut it right along the side. And then once it's cut, you grab it here, you pull it under, you grab the top, you pull it over, and you remove all the hay, okay? My issue I've been having is, depending on how you cut it, all this stuff down here starts to fall off because you're cutting into the bale of hay, the layering. So what you get is the bottom section of the hay falling down and falling out, and then you have to pick it up and put it in the ring. That's taking the wrapping off before I put it in the hay ring. So with Steve, I was just talking to him at the gate about some of that, because that top guy, it didn't have the center section. It started falling apart before I could get it in the hay ring, kind of like what happened last week on that really bad day. If you haven't checked that video out, check it out. if I put it in on its end inside, do the cut, and then pull it around the outside, when it's already in the ring, then you don't have to worry about that. Then if it falls out, it's already there. So I tried that, and it worked. I liked it. The only problem, though, is once I get it off and I get it in there, the buffalo think they can start eating it. So I put it in there, and Bartok was super fast to come over, and they want to start nibbling it when it's in the ring. So you got to be ultra fast, getting it in the ring, get out, cut it, and try and get that unwrapped. Otherwise, they're going to start trying to bite through the wet netting. So there's pluses and minuses both ways. I kind of like just dumping it in and then cutting it, but I turned around one time after cutting it, looked up, and there's like Bartok 3 feet from me just staring at me. And that's not a preferred position when I'm down on my knees in the ground. So anyway. So I'm gonna keep trying to make this better, but I did buy a pitchfork, and so now I'm just waiting for all the hay. The only way you can make sure you never have to do something with a tool is to buy the tool, and then you never have to do anything with it. So anyway, hay's moved. I did get 20 more bales. I'm gonna move those over now. I'm gonna stack them up alongside over here. Everything will be perfect, and then it's gonna be on to the rest of the day. What I wanna finish up today is showing you the taking of fecal samples. We're gonna play with poop. Play with poop. Being positive today, being positive. Anyway, we're gonna play with some poop, show you what we're doing and why we're taking fecal samples from the buffalo. All right, let's move some hay. This is my progress so far on the hay. So I've got some bales here. I've gotten 4 deep. I've got 5 deep on the bottom, 4 on top. A couple things here. When it rains, it puddles, and back here it puddles. It hasn't been so far, but here I just decided to push up, partly because it puddles here. And the other reason is because you remember that bale of hay that got destroyed because I backed or ran my tire into it? Well, it's right here. Right there. Anyway, this guy, for me to squeeze these in tighter, I would have had to have run over that again. So I've actually left a little bit of a gap between here, else I would have been stacking right here, but I decided not to, only because of that bale of hay. So I've actually moved it back for water reasons, and I'm not stacking center just because of that hay. Otherwise, I've got 10 on the bottom, 4 on top, and the front section from the original batch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 on bottom, and I added that one up there. So I think I have like 5 bales left. I'm going to stick them up front. Now, when I'm looking at my pavilion here where I stack this hay, because I have this post, and I can't swing in far enough to get many more actually in front of these 2. So I'm going to try and stack everything else of the 5 here and have one long line. If I go too far forward, I'm on the bump of the concrete at the same time trying to get in. And with the hay spear all the way up here, as I go in, it pumps up. I need to make sure that I'm not going to hit that bump right when I skewer the hay. So just something to consider. But I'm going to try and just drop those off up here and go up there. All done. Now, let's go get poop. Poop! So I just pulled in the gate. The Ahmed back to back. Bartok, they all came over because I have cubes in the back of the truck. Anyway, today is the day, as I told you, that we're going to do some fecal sampling. And you may be asking yourself, why am I doing fecal sampling? Okay. just in general, I'll kind of keep this short, but the general idea is that your animals can get parasites and get a parasite load from different things, worms, whatever they are, right? There's various different ones. I don't know them all, but they can get a parasite load and that can cause health issues. You can see decreased weight. You can get, actually they can die from it. Various different diseases can come from it. And so you periodically generally want to check your parasite load. And to do that, you look at the poop. And you go take a fresh sample of poop, you go put it in a bag, and you send it off for a test, okay? That's typically what is done. There's a couple of times a year that we would worm them. You can do different ways to treat this once you get your samples back. If you find out you have a lot of load, what kind of animal, or what kind of animals, but what kind of parasites there are, what's their count inside the feces. And from that, you can do a dewormer, or other kind of treatment. And there's various different ways treatments work, okay? So I'm not gonna go into all of that right now. I'm just gonna focus on collecting poo, okay? Because today is poo day. Poo day. We are gonna champion this sucker. So what it means is, I stare at the backside of all these animals until I see them poop. And once they poo, I get all excited. I go over there as fast as I can without getting killed. And I grab their fresh stinky, okay? Put it in a Ziploc bag, mark it number 1. I can put their ear tag on it if I want, and get all excited like a giddy little schoolboy. And from there, I can go over and put it into an ice chest. So you want to keep it cold. You want to get all the air out of the bag you can, and then you would take those samples and you can send them off. Now, you don't have to get a poop sample from every single buffalo, okay? That would be almost a nightmare and insane. But you do want to get a good sampling of the herd, okay? So typically maybe 5, 12 samples. You could do a composite sample, so once you get individual samples from a number of animals, group them together. You can do that, or you can send them just as individual samples. Like I said, I'm no poop sampler, right? Expert. So I'm gonna do my best, do some samples. Steve and I have already gone out and done some of these, but I'm doing this really just to kind of show you what we did now that I got trained from Steve, because Steve is a poo expert. Girlfriend, I know you want some cubes, but I don't have any cubes. Sorry. Oh yeah, you got a little wet nose. You got a little wet nose, don't you? Oh, you just got a little wet nose. Yeah, okay. One reason I did bring cubes is if you can feed them, sometimes when it goes in, other crap comes out. So I'm also gonna try and use that if I don't see any. But really, this honestly is you sit here and you wait for poop. That's it. I mean, stick it in a bag and go for it. That's it. So let's do our job and wait for poo and see how this goes. So besides giving them some minerals, Bartok was looking for some. I'm also going to use that check sheet, mark off the animals that are here, and kind of do 2 birds with 1 stone. Well, 3. Cube, poo, and check everybody off for attendance. If you remember number 12 here, she had lost her horn, and we had mentioned, I guess, previously that it grow back. If you look on the right side, there's the horn. It's growing back. That's how much has grown in probably 4 months, 5 months. So I'm actually kind of surprised at how fast it's grown, but it is coming back, and she is getting her horn. This is what I get. I go to a wide open spot to give them some cube because I still can't get poop. And I'm gonna get out of the truck, start rustling it up, and they're gonna start jogging even faster to come hunt me down. I would love to have one of those feed hoppers, I really would. They just drop it, you tow it behind, and they automatically do it. Yeah, it's money. It's money. It's always money. Alright, now I'm gonna have to drive up top to a different spot. You're cute, little buffalo. Come on, Ahmed, give me some poo. Come on, really? A little bit of poo, Ahmed, a little bit of poo. Help a brother out. All right, just dropped some, and wow, they came fast. Woo! Eager. All right, let's move to a new location, drop another bag, and split them up a little bit. Wow! This is 138. She is pregnant, and she is kind of off on her own and eating. I don't think she looks like she's showing signs of pregnant, like birthing soon, but she is kind of off on her own a little bit. You never know. From going around right now, I don't think that there's any that I see that have actually had their babies. We have a few that have looked like it, shown signs, but they just kind of aren't doing it. Number 14, I think number 18, number 1. Those are the ones I'm waiting for next, and of course 138. So those are the 4 that I'm waiting for. There's a couple others that might be, but they are of course either no blood was drawn to confirm whether they were, or they are confirmed to be not pregnant, but sure seem to look weird. Still waiting for poo. Cannot get poo. I get a lot of pee, but not poo. They start coming fast and furious. Here they come. Even though I just left them a pile up there. Let's get in the truck. Right in the middle of the screen is Ahmed. Ahmed doesn't really run for anything. Except mineral feeders. If you didn't catch that episode, you should go back and look at my mineral feeder when I thought we lost one. Anyway. Okay. This is the time to start seeing some poop. I'm gonna get off externally somewhere and go see if I can find it. Just need somebody to poo. Oh, little baby. You're tiny. You're tiny. Okay, I can leave the camera on here the whole time waiting for poop. I'm not gonna do that, so I'm not gonna catch the actual drop, but I will show you what I do when I get up to the poo. How about we do that? So I'll be back if and when I can find poop. Coming right at me in my window here. Coming right at me, huh? That's number 132. Okay, look. Oh my gosh, perfect. Right here. See? Ah, sweetness. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're like, what the freak are you talking about? She dookied right here. Okay, while it's fresh. All right, this is what we do. All right, this is where I grab a Ziploc bag, turn it inside out, put my hand in it, and scoop it and bring it back up. All right, that's generally what I'm doing right now. Man, that was perfect, right outside my door and nobody else is around. So let's get this before they get here. All right, so I've got it all turned inside out. Let's go over. Let's grab the sucker. Take a good swath of that. Nice and warm, baby. Nice and warm. Got nothing for you, girlfriend. All right, you're gonna take this and you're gonna gently, well, get your hand out of it. Total suck. All right, this isn't the easiest thing to do with your hand in poo and to try and operate a camera. So you're just gonna try and, as best you can without soiling yourself, you put it in, you get it in there, zip the top, and then you get the air out as best you can, like this, okay? And then wrap it over and bam! You got yourself some poo. All right, now you throw that in the cooler and go get another one. Oh crap, they're all over me. Okay, gotta go. See, that's all it takes to go ahead and do this, right? It's not a very hard thing. I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting, and 132, bless her soul, decided to take a dump right next to my door. All right, that's the perfect way to do it. Anyway, I'll see if I can get another one. Hopefully another one just as perfect as that. Okay, hanging out with a buffalo for a little while longer and didn't get any other poo samples. So what we're gonna do is we've sending off for samples. If I can get them back quick enough, I'd like to include those results and then kind of let you know what we're gonna be doing in the future. Like I said before, you know, this is all to find out the parasite load. There hasn't been any animals, you know, this was never used as a ranch. And so there's no cattle history, sheep history, nothing, you know, it's just wild deer and pig and some random stuff. So this is the first animals that have been on our property on a ranching style. So generally I don't imagine that there'd be too many parasites historically in the soil waiting to pop out. But as the animals are more and more on the same pieces of pasture, it will start to build. And so it's something that we have to be mindful of and watch. So that's why we're doing this. We're taking the poo samples, sending them off for analysis to find out the egg counts of the different types of parasites, and then make a determination at that point to go ahead and actually worm them. And there's different ways to do that. So when I get the samples back, I'll fill you in. I'm hoping it shouldn't take too long to get them back, that I'll include it with this video here if it's within the next number of days or so. So anyway, keep a watch for that. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to end it here and get going. So we hope you have a great day. We appreciate you joining along with us. Like and subscribe as always. Share the videos and so forth. And hopefully, you know, I'm giving you content that's normal people who've never done ranching might not know, you know. So that's my goal here. So anyway, keep with us. We'll catch you next time and talk to you later. Bye.
With you, I wanna stay.